see. Something for you and your family. Make a puppet from things you've got. Scissors and glue, now write the plot. Watch, make, share.
Today on People Behind the Puppets, I'm speaking to Keith Frederick. Keith started here at Little Angel as a volunteer, but has since worked on many of our productions. Let's meet Keith. Hi Keith, I'm Angel.
Hi Angel, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Thank you for inviting me along.
Oh, you're welcome. Keith, can you tell us, how did you get into designing and making puppets?
Well, it was sometime in the last century when I was 5 years old.
Ooh.
And I was given my very first puppet, a marionette, a string puppet.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point on, I was absolutely hooked and I started making puppets and making shows. And I did that up until I was about 16 years old.
So you started when you were a child?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. What is it that you most enjoy about puppets?
Oh, I think it's the willingness of people to suspend their disbelief and invest their emotions in these, what would normally be inanimate objects.
Yeah, suspending your disbelief, using your imagination.
Absolutely.
So you started here as a volunteer. Can you tell us about that?
Well, about 12 years ago, I came to the Little Angel and I'd known about the Little Angel. I'd read about it in books and I wasn't quite sure where it was. I'd lived in London for quite some time and I was busy working in London, and occasionally when I came to Islington, I thought it would be a really obvious place, but the Little Angel is far from obvious.
It's hidden.
It's hidden. It's this little treasure right in the middle of Islington. And so I looked it up, and one day I came along and spoke to the manager at the time and said, "Do you need any volunteers?" And they said, "Yeah, what are you doing now?" And I said, "Well,
What, right now?
yeah, right now, then and there." I said, "Well, nothing. Well, would you like to do the show?" And I was just like, "Okay, yeah."
Wow.
So that was it. It was a baptism by fire.
Yeah. I see you've got a little fox behind you.
Yes,
Can we have a look?
yes.
Oh.
I made her for Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Oh, so that's Mrs. Fox.
So this is Mrs. Fox, and everybody used to think this was Mr. Fox, but no, this is Mrs. Fox.
She's lovely.
And the original design is by an amazing puppet maker and designer called Peter O'Rourke.
Oh, yes.
I would imagine you'll be speaking to him at some point.
Yes, we're going to interview him too, yes. So this is Mrs. Fox.
So this is Mrs. Fox, and I used to usher people in, and she used to show people to their seats.
Oh, that's lovely.
And it'd make the children that were a little bit more nervous because it's quite an overwhelming first experience being in the theatre for a child. And so Mrs. Fox would help them, take them to their seats.
So what kind of puppet is Mrs. Fox?
Mrs. Fox is a glove puppet.
Oh, because you wear her like a glove.
Exactly, yeah. She's they call her a hand puppet as well. Hand glove puppet.
Yeah. Is that your favourite kind of puppet, or is there another?
Oh, no, my favourite puppet is marionettes.
Oh, you've brought some of those as well.
Yes, some of the ones that I've made. In fact, that one there is, his name's Little Tom, and I based him on Tom Sawyer, and he was the very first puppet I ever carved. And that was as a result of the work that I did for the Little Angel, and they said thank you because I was involved in lots of shows, making costume, doing sets, helping with the puppets. And they said thank you by letting me go on a carving course by John Roberts. And yeah, I was very, very lucky.
You are. Why do you love marionettes so much?
I love marionettes particularly when you can't see the operator, when you can't see the puppeteer, and they're just these suspended beings brought to life magically at the end of these strings. And I love the response of the children when they see a marionette, because they don't look at they can't see the puppeteer normally, but if there is a puppeteer, they don't look at the puppeteer, they just look at this creature, being, whatever it is, whether it's animal or human. Doing its thing, yeah. Just like you.
Oh, yeah. I suppose I am a bit like that. But not a marionette, no.
No, not a marionette.
No. So, Keith, when you're making a puppet, what are 3 things you need to consider?
Well, other than the most, which I consider the most important thing, is the script. And knowing how many characters that you've got, how many characters you've got to build. And it also informs the design. And other than that, I would say it's the size, how big they're going to be, their functionality, how they're going to be operated, what they need to do within the show, and durability as well. They've got to be made to last quite a long time, because particularly for puppet shows that go out on tour, they go through a lot of stress and strains, and so they've got to be durable and not break.
You mean like they're doing lots of shows?
Yes, it's my biggest fear. I've witnessed some extraordinary things happen.
Like what?
Oh, legs drop off, or hands drop off.
Oh gosh.
Or at the very worst, heads become detached.
Oh no! That's terrible.
Thankfully, though, that's a very, very rare occurrence.
Okay, yes, so durability, very important.
Very important. I would say that actually, above everything else, I would say durability. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You've got to be a puppeteer's friend, really.
Yeah. So, have you got a puppet with you that our viewers can make at home?
Yes, I have. And actually, we were looking at Mrs. Fox. I decided to make a hand puppet. Not a glove puppet, but it's a hand puppet.
Oh.
And it's a little clown. And I based him on a very, very old clown who lived 150 years ago.
Ooh.
And his name was Grimaldi. But I also like Punch and Judy as well, which uses glove puppets and hand puppets.
Yeah.
And there's a clown in that too called Joey. So he could be Grimaldi or Joey. We can choose our own name. But yes.
How did you make him?
Well, he's quite simple. He's made from an old shirt, an old T-shirt, and an old sock. All clean, of course, because you don't want...
I hope so.
You don't want stinky socks.
No!
You don't want Dad's old stinky sock. No, you don't want one of those. You want to make sure everything's been washed first.
Is it pom-poms on his head?
Yes, little pom-poms. And in the instructions that you'll find online, I've also shown you how you can make a quick pom-pom as well. So that's what... I made the one for his nose. And the other ones were bought ones that you can get from craft stores. So he's quite simple.
Lovely. Yes, so we do have the instructions online. You can make a clown just like Keith's. Keith, it's been lovely talking to you. Thanks so much for coming.
And Angel, it's been a pleasure to talk to you too. And lovely to meet you. And thank you for asking me.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.